Hey guys, this is Bharadwaj with phonearena.com again, and this is the Nokia X that we recently unboxed, and we have been showing you a lot of stuff about this phone, the first Android phone from Nokia. But it doesn't look like Android. We are clear on that because Nokia wants to bring the Windows Phone user interface familiarity, and that's where the forking comes in. So Nokia has completely changed the user interface. We have already showed you a demo from Nokia and also a small hands-on rather, from the event. But this time we are going full in depth to show you what all Nokia has worked on atop the Android open source operating system. So straight away, let's start the video here, starting with the glance screen. That's what you see here, the standby screen. This screen is very similar to you if you had used Symbian phones or even Nokia N9, and even Windows phones recently got this, some phones at least. So this will show you the clock and also some notifications, and you can choose to configure what to show and how long it should show. So we have set it for like 2 minutes, you can set it for 5 minutes or more, and that's the glance screen. And you also have the double tap to unlock option. Now it doesn't work all the time, so forgive me if it doesn't work the first time. See, it doesn't work all the time, but if you press hard enough, it does work. And this is the lock screen. You have the date and the time and also the notifications. The notifications, yes, you might be able to recognize that. That's actually Gmail. I'm going to show you how to enable Google services on this phone in a different video. But in this video, let's see how it interacts with the Nokia UI. So basically, the lock screen is a notification center. You can act on notifications from the screen. There is no notification center drop down on this phone. It is just a toggle and connectivity settings menu here. The drop down is particularly a waste. So if you want actionable notifications, it's to be done right from the lock screen. So doing a left swipe will clear the message, and doing a right swipe will open the message. So that's how the notifications work on the lock screen here. All the notifications come up, and if you want to clear all notifications, you just need to swipe up and release the notification just like that. Now opening the lock screen is very similar to what you have seen on the Asha and the N9 devices. Just swipe from the edge, from the left or the right to open up the UI. This is the start screen. So this start screen has all the tiles and the icons and complete list of applications. So you have every application installed on the phone on this screen. And swipe to the right, you have the Fastlane. So you saw the two notifications that was on my lock screen, that is there, and the chronological order of all the notifications and the apps that you opened. So these are the apps that I opened, and this is the notification that I got earlier. I updated Twitter, so it says find your friends on Twitter. I installed a couple of apps here, and all that you can see, you know, the notifications that you receive usually when installing apps from the store, that will be progressing and you can see them. So basically the Fastlane is the notification center of Nokia X. Nothing comes up here. Literally nothing. This is just toggles for the SIMs, for the toggles, the settings shortcut, and the connectivity options. For example, if you connect Wi-Fi, it says which network you're connected in, and also if you are connected to a network, it will say which network you're connected to in, and also USB and all that. So connectivity and toggles, that's about it. That's the only use of this drop down, and every notification arrives to the fast lane, and even some actionable notifications. If you have a single mail, you can archive or reply just like what you get on 4.1 Jelly Bean on the notification center of Android. So basically Fastlane is your notification center and your chronological timeline, if I may say so. So yeah, that's the Fastlane of the Nokia X, and this is the start screen. The start screen is again nothing really complicated. It's very simple, easily laid out, and you can obviously resize them or even close them or uninstall them. So, like for example, if you have installed a third-party application, you can uninstall from this just by clicking the X. So that's as simple as that. And moving to other apps, you can see that there are a lot of pre-installed apps here. So Nokia has a lot of modified apps. Obviously they had to work on that because they cannot use Google apps or Google services, at least not officially. So they had to make something like the music player, the camera, all those interfaces are revamped. But this is not just tiles and icons. You can see a search bar at the top which will take you directly to the search. You can search online or search maps, and this is Nokia's own keyboard, which doesn't work that well, to be really honest. It's a bit of a slow thing here. You can see my contacts popping up. So it's a bit of a universal search here with a very crappy keyboard. I'm sorry, but that's how it is. So anyway, moving on to the start screen again, the tiles, you can have live tiles for some icons, you can have bigger tiles, and you can even have widgets. Yes, that's pretty weird, but actually hitting on this icon will take you to the widget screen, which will have all the widgets of your apps that you have installed. For example, if you want to have the BBM widget, you can have it. If you want to have a shortcut, if you want to have the Gmail widget, this is all after installing the Google Play services, but you get my point. You can even have the power toggle if you don't like the control that exists on the top. So here you go, there's a widget right there on my start screen, and but the problem is it's just a long scrolling page of things. Like, it's just like Windows Phone but with widgets. It's pretty weird, to be honest, but at least you can do this. This launcher is not the best. You can always install custom launchers, but you'll lose the notification center of the Fastlane. So you can't see anything. If something's downloading, it'll say downloading at the top, but if you pull it down, it doesn't say anything. So that's one problem that Nokia X has. The Fastlane is really integrated with the UI, and it is an integral part of it, of the whole Nokia X experience. So that's what I will say right at the moment. Now, moving on to other things, you already saw the multitasking factor of the Nokia X. There is no swipe away thing, but you can indeed trigger it from a third-party app, like recent apps. You can like just move away or slide away apps just like what you do on Android. And of course, you can switch to it if you want to. So that's the multitasking aspect of this UI. It does multitasking really well with even a very small amount of RAM, but it's very slow. Right away you can see that the UI itself is pretty slow when compared to other devices, but I did find the XL and the X Plus to be really fast, which was actually pretty smooth, to be honest. But we are not really sure why the X is this slow. I mean, it's really slow. App opening times are very slow, and even scrolling is a bit slow if there are a lot of apps. It might not show in the camera because the camera is locked to 24 fps. This UI might reach 24 fps, but it is a bit slow. So anyway, moving on to the other things. One key aspect of the UI is that some apps don't have this buttons. Some apps need extra buttons. Yes, the phone has only the back button. So the back works like back. If you long press, it works like home. So for example, if I'm in some other page, I click the home button, or I'm in some other app. Let's say I'll open Twitter for a while. So that's the Twitter app, and if I long press, it takes me to home, and that's the Nokia's primary user interface. But there are no other buttons. What about the options button? That's not present on the phone. And also the multitasking button, that's added through software, so like through a third-party app. So these don't exist at the bottom of the screen. You essentially don't need it always, but it is still a lot of apps haven't got the overflow button. So what do you do in that case? So for example, I'll take you to this random app store that is installed on this phone. This app store doesn't have this feature. Like for example, the overflow button is not overlaid on the UI. So what Nokia have done is that add a very small tray-like icon, which when swiped up will show you the menu. So this is the overflow menu that shows up when you do a swipe up. So that's how Nokia has handled the overflow thing without adding a full row of icons, or just a three button thing overlaid on the screen, not like that, but just a swipe up, which is pretty clever of them to do it, but still, not the best implementation ever. So that's one thing we had to note with the Nokia X's UI. Now let's start browsing the apps. So these are the default apps of the Nokia UI. This is the dialer, which is very similar to what you see on the Asha devices. And again, as contextual menus, you can see that it's just a pull up, and this is how you dial the numbers. There's a call log and contacts. I'm not going to go into that, but still you can see that's how it works. And yeah, that's about it for the contacts and the dialer. Messaging, it's pretty bare bones. Again, this is very reminiscent of the UI that the Asha phones had. In fact, it's the same app. And then you have the internet browser, which is also very similar to what you find in the Asha phones, but again, this is a bit laggy. For example, let me go to google.com, the easiest and fastest website to load. So the interface has tabs. For example, it has tabs, but overall the experience is pretty slow. If you load an image heavy website, for example, let's load our site. The keyboard again is a bit fidgety. It's not the best I've used. You can see that it's a bit slow too. Now it's going to take a while. There you go. I already have a .com in here on the keyboard. Let's open the website. So as you can see, the scrolling is not the best, and even the zooming is it's a bit slow. So overall, the slow factor is everywhere, and you can see it happen here and there. For example, if I want to go to home, I've pressed it already, but it takes a lot of time. That's the internet browser for you. But it does support downloads. It does support everything that the Android browser has. So in that sense, you are covered. But otherwise, you can see that the browser is a bit slow. But yeah, that's the Nokia browser for the Nokia X. And then let's move on to the store. This is Nokia Store. Nokia has developed its own store for the Nokia X. You can see that there is a lot of apps coming in here. Very simple UI, again very similar to what you see on the Nokia Asha. In fact, it seems like they have used the same user interface model for all the Nokia specific Android apps that they have developed. So that's the Nokia Store. It's again, you can sideload APKs. It doesn't have everything, but you have some apps and games here. And again, performance is not the best. But if you want the some apps, specific local apps, and if you want to buy apps, then this is a place to go. And it also has its own updates and all. So yeah, that's the Nokia Store. Nothing special here. It has some sections and all that, but again, nothing special. That's the Nokia Store. The email app is a default app. Everything is styled with Nokia's UI in mind. This is the camera app. Camera is modified. It's not the same as the stock camera app. You can see that Nokia has given a lot of options here. Picture size, picture quality, ISO, restore defaults, and that's the whole settings menu. You can just click to take a photo, and you have several settings here. You can choose the video mode or the panorama mode. Here's the video mode. In fact, these bubbles remind me of the Moto G's camera more than the Nokia camera. Let's see, that's the white balance. Let me set it back to auto, and that's the exposure control. That's about it. Very basic camera. This is a 3MP fixed focus camera, so you can't expect much from it, but the user interface is going to be just the same. So that's the camera app. Now moving on to the music player. Music player is also very simple. It's almost as if Nokia has just skinned the AOSP music player. Let me go to some music. So that's how the music plays. I've currently reduced the volume. The loudness is pretty high. So that's the music player. You have playlist settings and all that. me pause that. And also you can use them as the ringtone, you have the equalizer and all that. So yeah, that's the music player that Nokia is giving out with the Nokia X. But there is also the FM radio. Let me quickly connect a 3.5 mm audio jack here on the top. So let's see how the FM radio is. So this is the FM radio. Pretty simple, and yeah, that's how it works. You can change to mono, stereo and all that, and you can turn it off, turn it on. Pretty simple UI, but I guess it works. It doesn't have recording, I guess, but it does have sleep and some more settings inside. So there you go, that's the Nokia's FM radio app for the Nokia X. But there is also the Mix radio, which is Nokia's own service. This is Nokia Music, now morphed into Mix radio. You need to log into an account, and if you say play me, it will randomly select tracks that you possibly like with an algorithm, and it will show you the best tracks. Now going into the settings, you can see that there's nothing much to choose, and that's about it. That's the Mix Radio app. We'll probably do a separate demo of this, but just to show you the basics here. And finally, we have the Here Maps. Here Maps is Nokia's own navigation solution, navigation and mapping, and it is a full-featured app. That's what I can say. It has maps and navigation. This is the maps and our location. It works pretty good. So for example, let me zoom in, do a rotate. Even rotate works. So pretty cool that there is a full-featured app for Here Maps. So you have map, you have drive. Drive is obviously the navigation part of the Nokia Store. So not exactly the Nokia Store, but drive is the navigation part of the Here Maps. You can already do that, but they have updated it, and we will update it and show you to, this is how the navigation will work. Pretty much similar to the Windows Phone UI here. So yeah, that's the Here Maps part of the Android application here. Now otherwise, you also have sign in, favorite, setting, and also you can download offline maps, which is pretty awesome. Google Maps doesn't have it. It says you have 0.61 GB available, and you can download whatever maps you need. Now going into map again, you can see the directions from the places. So let's see airport. So it can show you navigation too. If you hit start, it does work. So you don't actually need drive, but that's obviously a better version. So there you go, that's the Here Maps application. It works great actually. It was very surprising to see it work great. Now we are waiting because the Nokia X doesn't have enough RAM. It needs enough RAM, and with the 512 MB RAM, it does reload the launcher quite a lot. So that was Here Maps. Now let's see the last three default apps. This is the calculator with orange theme. It is nothing special, just a quick calculator with an advanced panel. And now moving on to calendar. Calendar is very similar to the calculator with the color scheme, and yeah, it does work pretty good. Nothing special again. It works with Google Calendar if you add Google services, but otherwise it should work with Outlook. And alarms is very similar to what you saw on the Arsha devices and the Nokia N9. It has the very similar UI and the cool dial setting that you can use, and of course the swipe up too. So that's the alarm app for the Nokia X, the Android version. So overall, I think that's the UI deep dive that I was hoping to show you. I hope I satisfied your thirst for seeing more of the Nokia X. Anyway, that's it for the video, guys. Do let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you want more Nokia X and a lot of other videos like these. Thanks for watching again, and let us know what you think in the comment section below.